I didn't get to show you guys what I got at the thrift store yesterday. It's just 2 items. I have been on the hunt for a really pretty antique butter dish because I use butter. I just cut a little slab off and leave it on the counter, just a bit at a time. And yeah, I hadn't had any luck finding one until yesterday. This is an antique, but it's one of my favorite colors, and it's Pioneer Woman, sorry. And I love Ray. I love her energy. I like her better than the ballerina girl. And it is just a stunning piece. And I looked it up online because sometimes, like, people will have the whole sets for their kitchen. And Amazon listed it for $100. And I went, well, no one's paying that. But I'm not selling it. But, you know, in resale, sometimes you get lucky that sometimes some people wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning and they're just scrolling and they just buy stuff to buy stuff on a whim. And you be lucky sometimes that someone does want to buy your junk that you got for sale, and they will pay full price for it. So it wouldn't, I mean, I don't know how much these were. You know, eBay, Etsy is listing them at $25, $30. So, but I really like it. Now, will I end up breaking it? I don't know. I already was washing it and I dropped a glass bowl on top of it, so we'll see. But it's just so pretty, and hopefully it will be the last one I need to buy for a lifetime. Now, I was walking past the I seen a few things in there, and I seen a few deals, and but some of the stuff is higher priced. At that thrift store, you have to really be on the hunt for stuff, because you have a shelf full of overpriced things, and then there'll be 2 or 3 things on there that are underpriced. So anyways, I walked by the DVDs. As you know, I collect DVDs. You know, I'll resell them as well, but for my personal, I just want like my favorite movies for personal use. And I walked by the DVDs, and this one was just right on the shelf, pointing at me, looking at me. And I wanted to see this movie again. The subject matter may not be okay for a lot of people. That might offend them a little bit, but Gia was, I forget how you pronounce her last name. It starts with a C. She is one of my favorite models of all times. She had a really hard life, and just, I won't tell you the story, but it's just, you know, it takes place in the 70s, which is my favorite era in New York. You know, Studio 54, designer jeans, blank, and disco. One girl is living life in the fast lane. She can have any person she wants, blank, money, glamour, fame. It's all within her reach. She walks towards you across the dance floor, struts towards you down the runway, stares at you from the cover of a magazine. She's a goddess. She's a star. Her name is Gia. I just love this movie, and if I ever got myself a little lap dog, I was going to name it Gia, because I just absolutely, and what's her name? Angelina Jolie plays her, and I was just ecstatic. If it hadn't have been sitting, you know, facing me, and it had been, you know, turned like bookshelf style, and I probably wouldn't have seen it. Oh, maybe it would have jumped out at me. But my problem is like, if you subscribe, I don't have any subscriptions to any streaming services anymore. I'm quite happy with Tubi because it's free, and I like the older movies anyways. And but if you subscribe to 1 or even 2, I know people that subscribe to 3 different streaming platforms for movies. And if you have, if a movie's on another streaming service that you don't subscribe to, you either have to subscribe to that one to watch it, or, you know, pull a fast one and use a prepaid credit card to get a 7-day trial or something like that. So I wasn't going to pay, because I wasn't going to pay the $5. The DVD cost me $3.49. So now I own it, and I can watch it as many times as I want. And that's what the problem, or that's the problem people are having with the streaming services now. They don't like that. And even used to be able to download them and they'd save, and now they disappear some way, somehow, or they update, and then you lose everything you bought. So the hard copies, I prefer. So that's what my goal was, to build my DVD collection on on my favorites. And so, yeah, now I'll be able to watch that whenever I want. So that will probably be this weekend. And what else happened? Yesterday, I wanted to just tell this little story. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to get ready to have my dinner and call it a day. But yesterday, I was out and about. I'll just tell you, I was at an appointment. There was an elderly lady there. Again, I'll never disclose where I was, who it was, etc. I'll never disclose the details unless, of course, that person, told me that they want me to put the content out there. But I was at an appointment, and there was an elderly lady sitting there. And she had been waiting for a cab. And where we were with the situation, it's not... they're not frequent. So she would have had to sit there for 1 to 2 hours, which that's what she was told by the cab company. And the receptionist had called for her at that. She didn't even have a cell phone. She's elderly. And, she's in the place. She's fine. She's not going to have to leave or anything. But a young gentleman came in and for his appointment and heard of the situation. And he called her an Uber, of course, asked her permission, and called her an Uber and paid for it as well out of his pocket. And here's where it gets, you know what he said? He said, I don't want to see her sit here for 1 to 2 hours. And I mean, like I said, she'd probably been fine there, but she might have missed her meds. She might have missed dinner. She might have missed her chocolate pudding. We don't know, right? So he said he'll do that for her. And we were all saying, you're such a great human being and all that stuff. And he said, well, God put me in the right place. So I'm here and there's something I can do. I'm going to do it. And I just love stuff like that. I love those little sprinkles of light and hope and all that stuff in our day. So it was really nice. And he got her on her way. And I was going to give him $5 towards the ride or whatever. And I said, no, sit back and let him give a blessing to someone else. And even the reception said that'll come back to you. Of course, we don't do things for other people to get things back, but it has a way of working its way back to us. You give a blessing, you get a blessing. It has a funny way of finding its way back to us. So that was a lovely part of the day. So I just wanted to tell that little ditty to show you what I got. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to call it a weekend. I don't think I'll be putting out any content. Tomorrow's going to be very cold. I think I'm just going to relax and just get some stuff done around here. I'm definitely not going out tomorrow, so it'll just be a day to catch up and organize stuff, and that's about it. Anyways, I just hope you were happy with the content that I just provided to you. Have a lovely weekend. Be good to each other. Bye-bye.